This small town produced two men who controlled three continents. This forgotten town helped rule the known world. This looks like Rome, but it isn't. These ruins sit in southern Spain, just outside modern Seville, far from the heart of the Roman Empire. And yet, Itálica wasn't remote. It was founded in 206 BC after Rome defeated Carthage in the Second Punic War, a reward city built for Roman soldiers who survived the campaign. At first, it was just a settlement, but over time, something unexpected happened here. This small provincial city would produce men powerful enough to rule three continents. So how did one town on the edge of the empire become a factory for emperors? Itálica is the birthplace of Trajan, the first Roman emperor born outside Italy. Under Trajan, Rome reached its greatest territorial extent, stretching from Britain to the Middle East, from the Rhine to North Africa. And after him came Hadrian, another emperor from Itálica. Hadrian didn't just conquer, he consolidated. He reshaped the empire, strengthened its borders, and built Hadrian's Wall in Britain. A quiet town in Spain produced emperors who ruled over 70 million people. Itálica wasn't just loyal to Rome. For a moment, Itálica was Rome, and it was built like it mattered. This amphitheater could seat 25,000 people. This was more than the population of nearby Seville at the time. So what type of events were actually held inside the amphitheater? Well, there were two. In the morning, really, they would have fighting with exotic animals. They would bring them in, fight the animals to the death. They would take a break around noon, and then later on, the gladiators would come in, hand-to-hand combat. They might actually recreate some events like you've seen in the movie Gladiator, and this is where it all went down. And this is one of the biggest amphitheaters from the Roman Empire that's still intact. It actually ranks as the second. And we're going to take a look at what remains here, which is quite a lot. This wasn't just entertainment, it was a statement. Here gladiators fought, wild animals were released, politics, punishment, and spectacle merged into one event. Beneath the arena floor were tunnels, holding cages, fighters in fear, waiting for the signal. Rome didn't rule only with armies, it ruled with awe. And centuries later, this same arena played a different role. HBO used it as the dragon pit of King's Landing in the Game of Thrones. Before dragons, there were lions. Before fantasy power, there was real imperial power. But even giants fall. So what happened to a city this important? So there's all kinds of passageways. You can really just take an outer ring around the main amphitheater. But really cool, the light shooting in different areas. Great for photography, videography. And I was just reading too, not only did they have the gladiator events, the wild animal encounters and fights, they also had public executions here. So just a little bit of everything. What's so crazy about this is you actually feel like you're at a stadium. It's the same exact layout. Only difference is people were fighting to the death in there, but exactly the same. So if you're wondering when the golden era of this city was, it was really in the 2nd century AD. They had everything. They had the great games in the amphitheater, gladiators, animal hunts. They had the urban area, kind of like a modern day shopping center with markets. They had a main sewer line too, that it was all organized and pushed everything outside of the city. Fountains, saunas, great grid system. Just a very well organized city. And once again, this was the first city that was made outside of Italy. And it was called Hispanica. You can see how it gets like a Spania later, or Spain. But the Romans, you can feel their footprint all over Spain. Itálica didn't fall to invasion, it faded. The nearby river shifted courses, trade routes dried up, marshlands brought disease. Slowly, people left. The mosaics stayed, the streets emptied, the empire moved on. Rome survived, but Itálica didn't. Today it's quiet, no crowds, no noise, just stone, sky, and memory. A city that once shaped the world now teaches a different lesson. Power isn't permanent. Even empires depend on geography, timing, and chance. And sometimes the most important places in history aren't capitals. They're forgotten cities that once ruled everything. Hey guys, this is going to wrap it up for Itálica and the main part of the city, the amphitheater, gladiator fights, and so much more. If you have any questions, put them down below. I'd really appreciate it. I'm off to the next adventure, 4-day road trip with a car down to the south of Spain. Gonna find some good stories for you guys. So see you on the next one. So thanks so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate this episode of Traveling on the Go. If you have any questions, put it in the comments. Anything else I can do for you, I am here. That's going to do it. I am out of here. We have a lot more adventures coming up, like into the deserts of Dubai and the biggest waterfall system in the world in Brazil. Take care, guys.